the dichotomy, the difference between this team versus Dr. Conrad Murray in Michael Jackson's room. Let's go back to court.
Leading a healthy, productive life, correct?
Correct. In my experience, sir, getting them off the drug, which is really my specialty, and comfortably withdrawing them from their substance of abuse is the easy part. Keeping them sober is the hard part.
Now, I wasn't clear. Do you know what Restylane is?
Personally, I have no experience with Restylane. I asked the plastic surgeon what it was, so I would know.
Okay, and it's a skin filler, right?
I think so.
For acne scarring or any type of dermatological scarring, things of that nature?
I honestly don't know its precise use. I have no expertise in dermatology, cosmetics, plastic surgery, etc. But I did, sort of curb consult a friend and say, "What is this stuff?" And that's my understanding of what it is.
And you noted in the medical records, the dermatology medical records, there were Restylane treatments, there were Botox treatments for different parts of the body, correct?
Yes, sir.
And some of these injections were into, for example, below the right orbital, in the right cheekbone, in the chin, in the nose, various locations, correct?
Correct.
And these are documented in the medical records, correct?
Yes.
Frequently with diagrams, for example, of the eyes or the face where the injections were given.
I would say actually infrequently.
There are diagrams showing where the injections were given.
There are occasional diagrams.
And certainly not every page has a diagram. Would you agree with that?
I believe so.
When do you use Demerol in your practice?
I haven't used Demerol probably for 2 decades. There are much better medications and safer medications.
Now, if someone was addicted, let me just ask you, and let me know if you can answer it, is if someone's addicted to a drug, and they stop using the drug, is the point at which you expect to see withdrawal symptoms, does that vary based on the type of drug?
Based on the length of use, the quantity of use, the type of drug, and even then, what makes this so interesting is that there's individual variation. It's difficult to predict.
Okay, but does it, if you said everything else is equal, I'm just curious, does it vary based on the drug alone?
But you're asking me, does the onset of withdrawal vary based upon the drug? Again, it depends upon the amount of the drug. It depends on the specific drug, yes, etc.
Okay. So giving a window of time then, if someone, for example, Mr. Chernoff asked you about the last Demerol injection being June 22nd, at what period of time from that last injection, if Michael Jackson was addicted, would you expect to see the withdrawal symptoms?
Let me correct your statement, if I may. You mean
well, it's not a statement, it's a question.
Oh, thank you. Dependent. So if Michael Jackson got Demerol, did you say on the June 22nd?
That's what Mr. Chernoff asked you, and you're able to answer it.
Okay, well, he showed me the record. That's how so I'm just asking you to refresh my memory, please.
June 22nd.
Okay, thank you. Demerol has a short half-life. 3, 4, 6, maybe 8 hours. The metabolite accumulates, so that might have some effect as well. So I would expect that 8 to 10 hours after a Demerol dose, he probably would not feel well.
So you would expect to see withdrawal symptoms of some sort between 8 to 10 hours?
Possibly. And you're asking specifically about that date. And
what? Disregard the date. I'm just asking because that was the last date reflected in the records. But we'll pick whatever date you want, whatever month you want. I'm asking you when the Demerol injections stopped, whatever date, when would you expect to see withdrawal symptoms?
Within a day.
Okay. Now you prepared a chart documenting the injections in June of 2009, correct?
Can you show me that, please?
Well, I just asked you a question. Did you prepare a chart documenting the injections of June 2009?
I did.
Okay. Can I have a chart here? I'd ask that be marked People's Next in order. I believe 226.
226.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Let me show you this, Dr. Waldman. You can tell me if it's a chart you prepared for defense counsel. Looking at People's 226, do you recognize that?
No.
You did not prepare this?
Can you hand me that chart?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Showing it to the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you.
This is not my chart.
What chart did you prepare?
I had the secretary in my office chart for my review the Demerol and midazolam doses that were discussed during prior testimony.
So if this was given to me represented as a chart from you, this was...
Just a moment, please. I'll sustain the objection. You can refine a question.
Have you ever seen this chart before?
No, sir.
All right. Let me ask you, let me put it on the screen.
Objection to relevance.
I'll overrule the objection. Counsel can inquire.
Well,
Now, I want to reference this as we go through the records that was
Your
referred
Honor,
to.
this chart hasn't been identified as anything yet.
May I see counsel, please?
Okay, Judge wants to talk to the attorneys. Again, good fireworks, back and forth between that man, addiction specialist, Dr. Robert Waldman, our prosecutor, David Waldron, and Fitz. Do we have time? What's up with the fighting? Who's winning here? Let's get that quick answer out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like they have finally gotten to a breaking point where they're able to agree at least on some things.